Hi guys, welcome to Make With Me Monday. My name is Robyn Smith. It's Monday, so that means it's time to make something together. Huzzah. Today we're going to be making some black bath bombs. We're going to be using our black color study, kind of, and I'm going to be using a new mold. Very excited about that. And that's it. That's all. That's all we're going to be doing. But I hope that you guys are excited about that. And we just did the black color study for dyes on Face to Face Friday with the Patreons. So we bloomed it. So this is that black that we did. Whoa, don't fall, please. This is that black that we did with the Patreon. So we got to kind of go more in depth on black, but I figured, we're going to do it today anyway, so just make it all go together. Okay, so I have my powdered ingredients, for my bath bomb, and I'm doing my liquid ingredients right now. So I have cocoa butter that I have heated up. I have avocado oil. That's what I added. This is Cocomato Purple Betaine. So good, I can just say that now. It just rolls off my tongue. It's an unusual ingredient in bath bombs, so you gotta be careful adding it, but we can add it. Kathy says good morning and happy Labor Day. Thank you. It is Labor Day, isn't it? Happy Labor Day to you as well. Then this ingredient is polysorbate 80. And the best, my favorite thing about doing black bath bombs, other than them looking amazing, is being able to use the most discoloring fragrance that I have. Like, just to use all the vanilla fragrances. So this is Fruit Loops, and it has a 5.2 vanilla thing. And I absolutely love this fragrance. It smells delicious. It smells so tasty. And we're just going to be able to we could use it, and it can make all the little spitty spots at once. And we don't care, because our bath bombs are going to be black anyway. So take that. Okay, so I'm just going to stir this up. And then we're gonna get going. And I'm using our high humidity recipe today. Guys, it rained. It rained. It's been, I want to say, at least 10 weeks since it's rained. Probably more, but I know for sure that it's been 10 weeks. That's a long time. There's other little spots in Houston that have gotten rain, but every time a rain band comes in, it misses us. Just skips right over us. And I use a rain machine when I sleep at night because I have to have that sound. And this morning I woke up, and when my alarm went off, it dimmed the sound of my rain machine, and I was like, I still hear rain. I was so excited. Okay, Tanya says that they have plans to make black bath bombs today, and then they're super excited that we're doing this. Yeah, so, I figured we're about to go into Halloween or fall or whatever. If you don't celebrate Halloween, it's fine, but we're about to go into getting dark-sided. We're about to get dark. So we need to get our black bath bombs started. And I did the purple color study because, purple is, I think, a little... Well, also we're following the order of the color study, so... But I did do the purple color study. But I wanted to add, And it's been a while since I did black. Hasn't it? Let's see if I can make this work for me. Okay, so I have all my powdered ingredients in there. I just kind of give them a little stir because I find that if I let the kaolin clay just sit on top, because it's the last thing I add, and if I let it just sit on top, it soaks up a bunch of stuff, and then it can be a little troublesome later. So I try to mix it in a little bit, and then these are my liquids. I'm just gonna give them a little stir and pour them on in there. and then we're gonna mix it up, and we'll look at the mold we're gonna use, and I'm gonna tell you how I'm using this for Halloween. So maybe if you have like, you're like, I want to do something, if you're like, I want to do something different for Halloween this year, maybe this is your different thing that you do. Ugh. I have a spare. You gotta be washed now. Man, where's my little towel? Where's my towel? There it is. I'm just gonna put this around because there's like a little bitty space between the mixer and that thing. This is almost the perfect mixer cover, but there's like a little bitty space, and it does let dust fly up in my face, so I don't like that. Okay, so here's the mold we're gonna use. This is from Inedible Soaps. If you saw the cover for the Make With Me Monday, you're probably like, oh, weird. Okay, it's VHS tape. It's VHS tape. So my plan is to do a bunch of little like 3-piece sets, and each one's gonna have a VHS tape, and then we're gonna have like a classic horror movie, and then like maybe a bucket of popcorn. So like I have like the Scream mask. I have that as a, I'm looking up because it's up there, that's why. I have the Scream mask, or I have the Mike Myers face molds. I have like a bunch of different, you know, like Freddy Krueger. And so I'll do like Freddy Krueger, I'll do the VHS tape, and then I'll do like a little bucket of popcorn. So it's like movie night? 80s movie night? I've wanted to do that for a while, and I thought Halloween would be like the perfect time to do it. So that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm excited about it. Okay, so this has gotten a little mixy time. I'm going to not drop anything. Okay. This has gotten a little mixy time, but I know this recipe pretty well. Been using it for a while. And it does sometimes do this. Okay. So I just like to take one little second to scrape it out, dump that all back in, and give it another mix. And then we're gonna start adding our colors. Usually when I'm doing a stand mixer, I haven't even weighed my citric acid out. Oh my God. Usually when I'm using a stand mixer, I am adding the colors after I add my citric acid. But since I want to give plenty of time for us to talk about it, I'm gonna add it before I add my citric acid. It's not that big a deal. You can do it either way. I just find if I do it by hand, I like to add my citric acid after my color because it gives me more time to mix my color in. But with the stand mixture, it doesn't really matter. It can go either way, you know? Is everybody proud of me for drinking water? Because I need to be told. They're proud of me. Okay. We're gonna add, let's see if I can find an actual measuring thing. Of course not. Why would I be able to find one? Well, then we might have to measure with our heart. Okay? Sorry. Don't know what to tell you. If I can't find a little mixer stick thing, whatever that's called, spoon, measuring spoon. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use red 40 and blue 1. If you watch the purple color study, I talked about how red 40 and blue 1 like already make a dark color, and then if you really want to make it even darker, you can add that yellow 6, right? So that's already gonna be like almost black right there. we're gonna add red 28 and yellow 5 because it kind of enhances that that black, and it like deepens it. Not necessary though. These two probably aren't necessary. You could probably get it with just these, but I like to have all of it in there. So we're gonna start off with red 40 and blue 1, and I'm just gonna eyeball it. I think that's about a teaspoon. And this is a half batch of the high humidity recipe, so I think that's about a teaspoon. Okay. I think this is about a teaspoon. Okay. This is why you don't have to follow it to a T. You know, you're following it for your eyeballs to see like where it's at. Because with lakes, what you see is what you get. So, all right. We're gonna do some of this. I think that's about a half a teaspoon. Tanya says the only one that you don't have is yellow 6. It's not necessary. I do like yellow 6 for like a few things, but the colors I use the most, honestly, is yellow 5. I go through yellow 5 quicker than any of my other lakes for some reason. And then obviously red 28. And then I think blue 1 after that. So those are the colors I use the most. And we did do a color study that was like, so the next color study that would be up for grabs for the YouTube, and that's the next one that I did if I were going in order, is called like, what 3 colors would you have if you couldn't, if, like you had to have only 3 colors to start. I don't know what it is. Anyway, those colors, yellow 5, red 20, blue 1. So yellow 6 is, and red 40 is nice, and then yellow 6 is just kind of like that little extra. So you don't need it. You don't need it. Okay, so I'm gonna start letting that mix, and then I'm gonna weigh out my citric acid since I didn't do that yet. And I moved my microwave over here last week, and then I like it. So now I'm keeping it there. No, go back on. And we need a citric acid bucket. Sorry, these only ever get used for citric acid, but I had used it as a dump bucket. Forever. I was a simp for the yellow bag citric acid. Look who I'm hanging out with now, though, huh? Hello, say hello to my little friend Tate and Lau. Works just as well. Okay, so if you've been addicted to that yellow bag citric acid that's gotten real expensive, okay, you could check out this, which I got this from Natural Bulk Supplies, which I'll include a link. I don't have an affiliate code with them. I just like them, so I'll include a link. Great quality. Everybody says so. Just spilled citric acid literally everywhere. Okay, that's the only thing about that. My bad. Okay, so I'm going to sift this, and then we're going to talk about... Amy says, wait, did I say red 28? Do you have to make that, or can it be bought? Did I say red... if I said red 28, I probably meant red 27. They're basically the same, just one's dye and one's lake, so... Just, you know, a lot of times I'm like, oh God, you guys, you can ignore like a lot of what I say. Okay? I know that like sometimes people are like hating on what I say, like it's like canon law. You can ignore a lot of what I say. Okay? Just do as I do. Fool me once, don't get fooled again, okay? Alright, so let's look at this. It's okay. I feel like it could be darker. Okay? I feel like it could be a little darker. So let's make it a little darker. Okay? And we'll go ahead and add our We'll go ahead and add our citric acid so that can get mixing in too. But I'm gonna, nope, not that one. But what I'm gonna do is, if I want it to be darker, I can keep following the ratios, right? Or like what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna add some more red 40 and some more blue 1. Come here, towel. Why are you in there? I wasn't done with you. Okay, and blue 1. And so sometimes when you're like doing, you're mixing these colors, right? Some of them have a deeper dye load than others. And so like if your black is coming out like more blue, then you might need to be adding more red 40, and you could add some more red 28 if you wanted to. If it's coming out looking green, definitely add some more red. If it's coming out looking purple or like a maroon color, then you need to add more blue. You know, and you just can keep adding color. You can literally just keep adding color. You can just keep adding color. That's pretty good right now. It's pretty good. But let's see if we can make it rico, más rico, richer. Okay? Let's add this stuff. This stuff that I was like, well, you couldn't, but you don't have to. Okay? You can just add more. As long as you use Polysorbate 80, I have never had a bath bomb that was colored with lakes, right? When I use Polysorbate 80, where it stained the tub. And I would say the one color you have to kind of keep an eye on is this girl, red 27, and also her counterpart, red 28. They are sometimes a little bit naughty, but other than that, you can just keep adding color. As long as you're using Polysorbate 80, you'll be okay. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna just let that mix for a second. I also think it depends. There's like where you get your lakes from is also important, because some of them are not as deeply saturated as others, and like if I'm recommending a supplier but not recommending another, especially with lakes, like okay, not all ingredients, but like colors are like the main area where I'm like, I know what I know. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not recommending a supplier but I'm recommending another one, like there's a reason. So just keep that in mind. That's a pretty good black. Okay, but now we're gonna go. They're adding our binder. Kyla says, is red 27 hot pink? Yes. Red 27 is hot pink. Red 28 is hot pink. It's magenta is actually the color, but yeah. So it's gonna have like that hot pink thing, and that's the only one that's ever like been a troublemaker. Other than that, I think you're gonna be fine. But it's, even in a black blend, I've never had that happen. Even with like using mucho, so much color, I've never really had that happen. It's never stained for me. So of course, always tub test, you know, always tub test in a tub. Like, don't tub test in a sink, because that's a sink test. People don't take their baths in sinks. So even at, like, it may look really, it's gonna look way different when you put it in a bathtub. So, just my little words of wisdom. All right, it feels a little bit dry. I may add, yeah, it broke. So it's a drop test, right? Squeezed it, dropped it, it broke. So, in my water bottle, like when I was squeezing, I felt like 2 of the squeezes were like not full squeezes. Like the water wasn't fully in there. So, okay. Danielle says, is Nurture Soap a place I would recommend to get lakes? I would recommend that you get your lakes from either TKB if you're in the US, TKB or Muddy Soap Co. I think they have great lakes that work very well with the color study. When I did the color studies, I was originally using lakes from Make Your Own Buzz, and they had really highly saturated lakes that gave like very consistent color payout. And then they sold their company. They don't have lakes available anymore. So I was very happy when Muddy Soap Co. Brought the full complement of red 40, blue 1, yellow 6, yellow 5, and red 27. TKB used to have the full complement, but they don't have all the colors anymore. So they have some of the colors, but not all of the colors. So those would be the 2 places I would highly recommend. Okay, so for this mold, this is from Inedible Soaps. I'm gonna put, if this is a shell with lip, so this is the shell, and then you can see in the back it has a tiny lip. And that's pretty cool because you can put your piece in and it doesn't fall through. So it unmolds a little bit differently than our regular 3D printed molds. So we're going to drop that in there, and then we're going to put the part that's going to be in the front in first, because when we unmold it, that's going to be the last part to come out, right? So, and I haven't tried this mold yet. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. Okay. We're going to sprinkle some mix in. And then I'm very ambitious with the number of embeds I think I'm going to get in here. I have blue, purple, pink, and teal. So we're going to try them all. Okay, I see. I might need to mix this up a little bit better, my mix. Because I thought I spied with my little eye a little tiny piece of activation. But we're gonna see. Okay, so I'm lining my embeds along the edge, and then I'm gonna put some more mix in. Oh, and these are like, I didn't know like how small these would be. So these are about 4 ounces. So the only thing with that is like, it means the live's gonna take over. Because I thought about doing a quarter batch, because then, you know, we're not here for like an hour and a half or whatever. But I didn't do that. Okay, then we're gonna, this also is really cool because it has these little tabs on the side. So we're gonna pop it up a little bit, pull the back piece off, flip it over, use our little tabs to unmold like so. Give a little tap tap. So perfect. Oh my god. And it can be hard to see the details, but I think that you can see them. This is gonna be so fun. Oh my gosh. Okay, I am gonna give this a like, I don't see it activating, but I'm just, you know, gonna do this. Give it a little mix. Okay. And then, okay, there's talk about like where in Canada could you get your colors, where, like, you know, other places. And, you know, unfortunately, I don't know. I only know the U.S., especially for colorants. There's some things that, like, I can Google and find other colorants. But, so just know, like, say you get your colors and you're trying to do the color study and it just doesn't come out right. Because one of the things I've noticed is, like, sometimes from suppliers that, like, I have not recommended, then, like, people will try it and then the ratios are off for them. That's okay. You have the basic knowledge that you need, right? The basic knowledge is, like, what two colors do I blend to get this third color? So if the two colors that you need to blend are yellow 6 and yellow 5 and blue 1 to get green, and the ratios may be a little bit off because the dye loads on your colors aren't quite as saturated, that's okay. You can still play with it because you at least know, like, these two lakes will make that color if I keep adding them. And you may need to figure out, like, you know, how much more you should add or whatever, but it will work. So that's, like, the good news, you know? So at least you have, like, the basic tools to know. Right? Does that help? Have I thought of how I will paint them? Danielle asked. Girl, I sure have. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, I don't know if I'm able to do this, but I want to hopefully make it look like the VHS of the movie that it came from. I might not be able to do that. If I'm not able to do that, then the other thing I might do is I might just include, like, a piece of cardstock in the, oh, you can't even see the bath bombs on the tray. Okay, hold on. I might just include, like, a piece, like, wrap it and then, like, put, like, a sticker on the front or something like that that has The Ring or whatever movie that, you know, that I want it to be about. So do, make it say The Ring, and then do another bath bomb of The Ring Girl, and then like a little bucket of popcorn. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do, and I'm excited about it. Okay, I think actually this time, let me just try not, look at that, look at that. I can fit all of my colors in twice if I do it like this. That's why I like embed makers. I know you don't have to use an embed maker. Okay, you don't have to use an embed maker. I just like embed makers because I'm like, they're real consistent. I get real consistent sizes. So I can get exactly what I want in there. Okay. And yeah, we're going to make about a zillion of these apparently because I'm using the smaller size mold. So it's good if you have... What? Almost died there for a second. If you have questions, now's a good time to ask. Right? Because I'm just here. I'm like a captive audience. The other thing I really like about these molds is they're so easy to use. Like, if you have any kind of dexterity problems, if you have any kind of, like, issue, like you can't press them a lot, you barely have to press these. If you have issues with, like, not being able to juggle the different pieces, a shell with lip is a really good solution for that. So, just gonna say. I guess I need some water. Hold, please. I have this belief that, like, water makes you sick because the more you drink it, the more you need to drink of it. But anyway, no, I have been doing this thing where I, like, I put strawberries in my water, and that's great. I love doing that. I don't mind a lemon. I'd prefer lime, but I don't have limes right now. I just did like this whole project with this cuticle butter that I made for Patreon that I'm about to release to Patreon, and I made some lemon infused shea butter for it. So I have like a bunch of lemons just kind of laying around my house. So I have to use them up before I go get some limes or use my strawberries or anything like that. But okay. Oh, and Kathy's saying what we're doing, we're using the black color study to make bath bombs. Okay. That's right. That's what we're doing. Amy says, oh my god, please don't die unalive. You know what though? Like, how cool would that be? I'm just saying, like, you could be like, we were there together. We saw it. Oh, that's, what am I doing? This too. Okay. Whew. Y'all, it rained today. I know that I've said that, but like, I am extremely happy that it has rained today because my poor little swamp has been drying up. It's been so sad. So, just really excited about that. And, have you seen the footage of Burning Man? What is happening? It looks so crazy right now. Sorry, if you don't know, like, Burning Man is like, it's like flooding there right now. And I'm not laughing at them, I'm laughing with them, but I am laughing. Danielle says, get some true lemon. Is it like a lemon squeezy thingy? I do have like real lemons in there. I just have to use them up. Also, my younger son and I were trying to make, homemade soda. So we were making like a ginger beer starter. It's like fermented. It's like, I already made kombucha, so I kind of understand the concept. I don't know why though, but they call it a ginger bug, and I hate that. Like, I hate that term. Please don't call it ginger bug. Sounds terrible. Okay. It's not going well though. It tastes a lot like ginger. It tastes a lot like ginger. Ginger. Okay, oh, Susan says it's dehydrated lemon juice. Interesting. I'm trying to go in order with these. Green, blue, purple, pink, and I know that that one looks purple, but I know that the rest of them don't look the rest of them don't really look purple, but they are. They just dried weird in my shop. Come on. But yeah, I'm just excited. As soon as it's officially, like, as soon as the calendar rolls around and I can see October 31st peeping at me, I just get real excited, okay? Just get really excited. And there's a lot that I want to make. Yeah. Okay. Trish just sorry. Okay, hold on. I think that there are more questions, but I missed some. No. Okay. Oh, how many ounces am I making with these embeds? So with the embed, that's a good question. Why did I just do that? Okay, here's what to do if you do that. You just hold on for dear life. Okay, wrap your fingers around it all the way. That's what she said. And then just turn it. It's not ideal. It's not what I wanted to do, but you know, if you do accidentally unmold it all the way from the shell, that's what you would do. Okay, so with the embeds, it would be Okay, so they add about an ounce. So, and I'm weighing these to 4.5 ounces. They will lose about 0.2 ounces. So the in bath bomb will be about 4.5-ish. Somewhere along there. Is that right? Something like that. They will lose about 0.1 to 0.2. Just depends on, you know, the recipe. But yeah. Look, my younger son has a lot of faith in me. Is high school the reason that you just start thinking that your parents are morons? Okay, he has a lot of faith in me because I already told him, like, I don't know if I will be able to help you much with math anymore because he's already at, like, algebra 2. I was like, that's real fuzzy in my head, okay? So he was like, I want to... I'm going to say he said set the square, even though I know that's not what he said. But he was like, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to factor these polynomials with 4 different quadriceps or something. And I was like, what does Khan Academy say about that? I was like, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I cannot... That is above my pay grade. So, I have no clue. Okay, hold on. There we go. Susan says 5.2 maybe. No, because they will definitely lose weight. They will lose about... So, the embeds were like 0.8. I said about an ounce, but it's actually... They said 0.8. But why did I do that again? It does look like a delicious, like, chocolate on chocolate ice cream sandwich. That is a forbidden food if I've ever seen one right there. Anyway, no, it'll definitely lose a little bit of weight, and it's only at 4.2 ounces, so, I'm sorry, 4.05. Did I say 4.5? I did. 4.05. I'm sorry. Once again, you can ignore about half of what I say. Just kidding. But I have found that, like, everybody's mix weighs a little bit differently. Like, my mix tends to be heavier because I think it has because of reasons. But I don't know why. Maybe because it has clay. Why don't I just put these in the order I want to use them? Oh my god. Okay, you guys are... Oh, okay, Susan says I did say that. Yeah. I was like, no, that's not at all right, because that's not what that adds up to. But yeah, that makes more sense if I said that. Why you think that? But no. 4.05 and then 0.8. I mean, and I'm giving, like, I said about an ounce because, you know, maybe some of them are a little bit heavier, some of them are a little bit denser, you know. Yeah. And then they cure and they lose a little bit of weight. I didn't cut my hair this week. Although I'm always saying, like, I'm going to cut my hair this week. I didn't cut my hair this week. I had my older son... It's my older son's birthday. It was my older sister's birthday. It was I have a new little baby. We have a baby in our family. My youngest brothers my youngest brother his wife had a baby in March. And so and I haven't seen him since March. And so I got, like, all the baby time yesterday, and it was so cute, and I get to hold him and squeeze him, and he's a little bit derpy looking, but, like, in the cutest ways. He's very cute, and it's fun because It's fun because then they go home. And I get to sleep all the way through the night. Until like 10 a.m. if I want to. I think we have like 2 or 3 more out of it. Well, 3. I'm going to say 3 after this one. So I'm almost done if you're tired of listening to me. I love that we're still talking about the lemon. I'm going to have to go back and read all of this to find out about it. I did this last week. We got an air fryer and I used the air fryer as a dehydrator and dehydrated like this orange that I had that was too far gone. You know, it was like starting to like dry up and it wasn't going to be tasty to eat it. So instead I dehydrated it, and we also had some raspberries that were, I don't like raspberries, so I wasn't going to eat them. And my kids didn't eat them, so nobody's going to eat them. And I was like, okay, well, before they turn, you know, I'm going to try them in the dehydrator, the air fryer / as a dehydrator. And yes, it might have taken like 6 hours to dehydrate 20 raspberries. And it might have ended in just a handful of little shriveled raspberries, but I liked them better dehydrated than I liked them fresh. And it was cool. It was cool to dehydrate them. Especially the orange I was excited about because I love oranges. I love oranges. I love oranges. But sometimes I don't eat them in time. And then they get like wrinkly, then they don't taste as good. But the dehydrated orange, the intentionally dehydrated orange, was actually really tasty. So I'm about that. I think I'm about that life. And then oranges are also really expensive now. Even though they didn't used to be, they're really expensive now. And so that's a way to leave no orange behind, you know? Like, no orange left behind. / never forget for my oranges when I forget to eat them. Because now I'll be able to use them forever. Maybe not forever. I think I saw that they last about 6 months. But whatever. It lasted about 5 minutes because I ate it immediately after that. It was awesome. Okay. I should try beef jerky next to dehydrate. Okay, so my husband does make beef jerky. He hasn't done it in a while because I guess he just doesn't love me anymore or something. It might be that he said that because the prices of meat went up, but I think it's probably just because he doesn't love me. But he does make beef jerky. We've never tried it in the dehydrator. Why does it feel like I'm saying that word wrong though? I think because I'm used to saying dehumidifier. So then like saying dehydrator, I want to add like an extra dehumidifier. Anyway, I've also tried to get him because I have a jerky gun that I got for making embeds, and I was like, did you know this is actually made to, you can use this to make beef jerky? He doesn't want to hear about that. So I'm gonna stay in my lane where it comes to, but I do want to try to make other things. I don't know. It's like a whole new world. There's a whole possibility of things that I could make now. Okay, I think that this is maybe 2, maybe 1. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Maybe 1. I think it's going to be 1. And I know that the mix is like, well, I don't know if you can tell, but it does kind of look dry right now. But watch. Yeah. That's the magic of the high humidity recipe. I also, if you've been paying attention, I have not had to add any binder since the very beginning, which is another thing I really like about this recipe, because that's a pain in the buttocks, as Forrest Gump would say. So I'm just saying, if you're in an area with high humidity, my humidity is currently 58%. So, but it was also literally just raining, and it's gonna rain again today, and I'm not afraid for these. I will turn my dehumidifier on though, because it's not humid proof. So please, people, it's not humid proof. I'm gonna turn my dehumidifier on when I'm done, okay? I know that there are people who are like, I want to never have to turn my dehumidifier on, but like, also, I want to be able to eat tacos every night. Just some things aren't possible, okay? It's like, I think you're just going to have to, like, you can keep working for that goal if you want to. I'm just saying, that's not this. I still use a dehumidifier. Gladys says, how does one get the black color? So I showed at the beginning how I got the black color, but I will also include a link in the video, like in the description when I'm done, to show a link to the black color study, so you can go find that blog post if you would like to study it some more, and then obviously you can rewatch this video if you want to. But basically we're just blending all of the colors. And part of the reason was because when I first started making bath bombs and I bought lakes. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I have a black lake. I might have a black dye. Hold on. No, purple. No. Okay, hold on. Ugh. Okay, well I know I have one. Okay, so like this is a black dye. This is Easy Colors. I think that this one is not batch certified, okay? But if I look at the inky on the back, this one has blue 1, yellow 5, and red 40. Sometimes it'll say blue 1, yellow 5, red 40, red 27, and yellow 6, or whatever the colors were on the back. But the very first time I bought black lakes, I was like, this is just all the colors. Like, I could do this myself. And so anyway, that's how I started experimenting with it. And basically you just want to blend a bunch of colors together. That's how you're going to get black. Can I please post a drop test of these beautiful tapes, like when I put it in the bathtub? For sure. We will do that for show. Here's what they look like. The color black is going to be, it's kind of it's like brown, where it's kind of like going to be an interpretive color. Like, sometimes black is going to look a little bit purple. Sometimes black is going to look a little bit red. That's okay. I mean, you can keep going for like your pure, deep, perfect black, but just also like be aware that, you know, like, I fully support that kind of insanity, okay? But just be aware that, like, you may not ever get, like, the perfect black, but it's still going to look black to the people who use it. You know what I'm saying? So this is a black dye that we bloomed on Patreon. And it has, you know, like the slightest... It looks green in the camera because it's probably a little bit polarized, but it actually looks a little bit more blue right here, but it's still black. And your customers will understand that it's black. You know what I'm saying? They'll see, like, in reference, like, they're going to use the context clues and be like, oh, this is a VHS tape, this is a coffin, whatever. They'll get it. They'll get it. It'll be cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to let these dry for a minimum of 24 hours before I try to paint them. And then I'm going to add all their components with them, and I'm really excited. I think this is going to be a cute set for Halloween. So, yeah, if you have questions, you can continue to ask them. I will go back through and see if there was questions I missed, so I will answer those. And then I will include links in the description for where you can get the color study, where you can get this mold if you wanted it, where you can get this recipe, where you can get this shirt. How cute is that? Now that I got stuff on it. Yeah, so I'll include links for you. And that's it for today. But that's all. But thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much. Happy making.